Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Speed Gaming 3, where we've got an exciting race, randomizer race for Crystalis coming up for you. This is our tournament, and we are in the elimination rounds. My name is TheAxeMan301, and with me is Tornell. Thank you for joining us the last minute. Show was going to be commentating and has stepped down into doing tracking. Unfortunately, a little bit under the weather. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Excited for this race. All these races are always really fun to watch. So.
Absolutely. So we have PMA versus Axeman. Should be an exciting matchup. Axeman, of course, is behind the TAS, Tools Business Speed Run. PMA is a good racer as well. And we are off. Let's see if anyone gets, we have 2 for 2 daughter skip so far. Oh, no. Axeman gets daughter. And starting off with a statue of Onyx. 93 warp boots. They went ahead and invested in those.
Axeman actually bought a medical herb instead.
Oh, okay. Yep. And then we have a shell flute. So we have a swordless start right away. One of the major differences between this versus the last round that was our Swiss round. See, obviously can't talk to Rage without any swords.
Yeah, sure he's just trolling us or what he's doing there.
I don't know if he was just in the habit, and yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, he's back. Good.
Okay, I think that was just syncing up the seeds there.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
The streams. But yeah, so for the elimination rounds, we are in story mode. So that means all swords, all bosses, both the regular and the tower versions, have to be killed along with Dragon before Dragon 2 even spawns. There's a myriad of other changes and additions that we've made for this, but that's the main one. And we'll talk about the others as they come up. See, PMA getting the windmill key after clipping behind the guard in Portoa. Axeman is going ahead and heading up. I suppose he already got that key and is taking advantage of it.
I thought PMAkfal would talk to the girl to see what he wanted, but I guess he just went ahead and tried it and it worked. That was good.
Indeed. Yep. Because the items that people need are mixed up in this seed as well. You can't assume that people want what you thought they did from vanilla. But we are already on the Dolphin out on the Angry Sea.
Some good divergence here. We'll see what's in the left pennant spot in the underwater way. Axeman's going straight for the windmill cave. PMAkfal got the glowing lamp.
Yeah, glowing lamp. Which, as we just said, don't assume you know where that goes. Oh, that's funny.
That means they can get to Swan now as well. As soon as
that's
get that
true.
item.
That's right, because those 2 items are actually not randomized. Unlike the other NPC items, those are actually still the same thing.
That's correct.
Thank you, teacher.
You are learning well, my pupil.
I'm sure it'll come in handy someday. Axeman, unfortunately, dodging those evil butterflies, although the price is worth it, finds the speed boots, but he's paralyzed right now, which doesn't mean a whole lot when you have no sword.
Right, exactly. I was going to say the same thing. Change. So now they can get to the west side of the world. Never decided to do that.
And it looks like the progression path is definitely opening up for them. And the Sword of Water.
Mind. They're going to get there free. Oh, do not pass go.
Indeed.
Oh, wait. Wasn't that Sword of Thunder? That was Sword of Water.
That was Sword of Water. Yeah. So Axeman's going to go ahead and check Rage. Now, Rage might not want the Sword of Water. That's not guaranteed in this set. But he's going to go ahead and check that. And remembers that they are still paralyzed. And it was not the Sword of Water. But what this also tells me with the progression that they've unlocked so far and getting that Sword of Water is that there's a much higher chance that we might not see Flight Spell for a while.
I'm hoping that's the case because those are always the most fun seeds.
Absolutely. And, we've had some seeds that are fairly trolly as far as even just getting your first sword. So they getting that like 3 minutes in is not too bad when you don't start with one. Oof.
Butterflies.
Yeah, butterflies are the worst. Yep, and Axeman getting access to that angry sea now as well, and is going to start finding the same things that Kfal did. Hopefully not finding death at the hand of a Medusa, though.
Kfal having some trouble here in this early cave.
And has decided to nope out.
Which probably will
right.
hurt him because he didn't get the sword.
Oh,
but we'll see. He could end up getting another sword somewhere else, but if he finds a ball of water, that means he's not going to have access to some things that he would have normally.
Yep.
Unless they find flight, and then it won't matter.
It's true. You got to think that there's probably fairly limited where they can actually get to this early with only this, even with the Sword of Water.
Right. Exactly. You have, one spot on Hydra, I think one spot in Oasis Cave. I think that's it once they cross the world here. Other than what's in the vanilla barrier spot here in the Angry Sea.
Indeed.
Which, yeah.
And there's that orb of water.
So that could be a big deal then, because that would give him more checks in Oasis Cave, and it'll also, let's see, what else would they give? That's, I guess, about it, really. Well, he gets to Chiron, and gets one more item on Mount Hydra with that as well.
Absolutely. Let's see, they don't have access to Amazones yet, right? No, but they can get to some of those caves close to Portoa have items across the river before you hit wall, right?
No, not in the vanilla maps. It's not. You have to randomize walls for that to be the case.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise, there's always a wind wall in the way in vanilla.
Always a wind wall. Okay, that is why you're the teacher.
Okay, Kfal, you can do this.
Yes, make it through.
Warlock's outside of Goa. That's fun.
Yep. Oof. And yeah, Axeman finds can kill spiders with that Sword of Water. So weaknesses, elemental weaknesses, are also randomized in this. So just because you see Medusas and you have a Sword of Water, doesn't mean that you can use it. And since Kfal doesn't actually have that yet. Oh, no, actually does. It's just not using it?
No, he doesn't have it yet. He never made it to that. It gives you one charge showing up regardless whether you have a sword or not.
All right. Axeman finds the hazmat suit. That took the place of the gas mask. Basically, not only can you go in swamp, but you can take across any kind of negative effect with that.
Oh, Kfal, man, he's just having so much trouble with this.
Yeah,
Feels
butterflies
bad.
are the worst. Axeman clipping into Chiron. You know.
See if he high fives you when he goes
hi
by.
to me. And takes a shopping trip. And it's gonna go see what Zebu has. The key to Stixie. Ooh.
Which I think is in logic with these flags, right? Because
It is in
not
logic with the
guaranteed.
left side. So ironically, within 10 minutes, Axeman is facing the Axeman chest.
Potentially. If he chooses to do that. He has a few more checks he can get to, but we'll see what he does.
And it certainly seems to be where they're leading. And with this flag set as well, you are not logically required to have barrier to get past those barrier statues. Oh, Kfal is definitely having more success now.
Oh, he'll be so happy to find this sword. He'll head straight to Swan after this, I bet.
Yeah, I bet he warped straight out. Yeah, okay. He almost went back for a second.
He scared me for a second there, but
Yep. And Axeman is headed towards Oasis Cave. This is a good check.
give him 2 more checks.
Yeah, you got this right up here. That was the original leather boot spot. And then you can get at least 1 more check.
Yes.
There's 2 more chests in there, but one requires flight and the other requires Thunder Sword and Orb. Axeman picks up an Orb of Fire. You got to think that Sword of Fire is probably somewhere within logic. Probably one of the next pickups. That's really going to open up the game. And KFal is definitely enjoying getting a smidge of revenge on those enemies. Okay, Axeman picks up a sword, an orb of wind. We are on the verge of opening up most of the game. All we need is the swords to go with them. Yeah, the tracker unfortunately will not show the orbs separately, I don't think.
No, you can't show the orb just by itself, no.
Yeah. Now, I think that we've defaulted to just not showing the sword, any of it, unless you have the sword, and then
Right.
you just have to remember. So yeah, we still only have the Sword of Water as the actual equipable weapons, even though we picked up a couple of extra orbs at this point. Let's see here. KFal is finally going up to Swan. It looks like Axeman's doing a little bit of a grind. Just quick, easy to kill enemy. Not, scaling 13 for this early, it's not bad. It's not great, though.
A little bit surprised he's taking the time to do this, though. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, and is poisoned and near death, but luckily this is a checkpoint. And that's a death. But you're going to start right there. And there's that level. Gets up to 5. And is going to go ahead and head back to Chiron. Considering what's potentially ahead, where you're probably going to have to go up into Mount Hydra and Styxy, making sure that you have that extra health bar available makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sure he went to buy a sword or a shield also, I mean.
Yeah, which was defense against projectiles. Yep.
Curious if he will take the time to check the other chest on Hydra that he can get to before he goes over there. It's pretty quick, really, once you're up there.
Yep. Unfortunately, left him with very little life. But Axeman is probably going to do the same thing. I guess we'll find out. Now, you can definitely tell, even with just a couple of levels, a drastic difference in their ability to survive up here. And Axeman is now going to go.
KFal finding his key now.
Yep.
What did Axeman get in the Oasis Cave again? I already forgot. Orb of Fire and what else?
Orb of Wind.
Oh, okay. So nothing that helps him really in Dixie at all?
Nothing. In fact, until you find something that hurts him, because it was just more scaling.
Right. It looks like KFal is doing the same thing. So I was just curious if KFal would go straight there, but you're right. Level-wise, it makes sense not to at this point.
Yeah.
There's your Sword of Wind. Well, okay.
Here it is. It also looks like Styxy is rolled a fairly easy enemy set. That's helping them a lot, too.
And no butterflies, no warlocks. No.
Yeah, actually pretty grindable enemies, to be honest.
No puddles.
Yeah. But the question is, does Axeman go south? I don't think he'll ever forget this chest again. Ever, ever, ever.
Poor boots.
Yeah. Well, don't have teleport spell yet, so not the worst thing in the world.
Nah. This would have been... Anytime it's something good, I always hope I'll miss it, maybe.
And Mimic number 1. There we go. Gozen's count begins. Even though he's not around for this race, we'll still count just for him.
He is happy somewhere.
Indeed. KFal picks up his Orb of Wind. Just a little bit behind at this point, but that can change pretty quickly in a match like this. So Axeman has decided to take his new sword and orb of wind and go to this vampire cave and see what the rest of it has. It's also going to get access to the Brynmare area, and with what they have, that also means Amazons. They have access to part of the swamp area as well. I'd say it's a pretty good move.
Yeah, I thought he might go Evil Spirit, because Axe likes to do that early if he can, but...
That's true.
And especially with the zombie waypoint there now, so you can warp to there, it's a lot more safe play than it used to be, not knowing
Absolutely.
what Severa is weak to.
Oof. And going back in there, I was so focused on the butterflies, I didn't notice the shadow enemies were in here as well. And one of them just paralyzed Axeman. So he's going to have to actually get out of here.
He's going to get stoned to get unparalyzed.
Absolutely. This is smart.
Very smart.
So, yeah. If you don't know this, you can only have one status effect on you at a time in this game. And stoned counts. But stoned is temporary. Unfortunately, didn't stick a sword out to protect himself.
The Medusa's being very nice.
That is a very friendly Medusa. And so now that stone is wore off, he is back in business.
Because you're still vulnerable to damage when you're stoned. So if anybody walks
Yes.
into you, still take damage. But that Medusa did not.
But if your sword is out, you can actually still kill things.
That's right. You can still do damage if your sword's out, but it's somewhat tricky to time that.
Yep. All right, PMAkfal is on their way up to Stixie now. Axeman finds Iron Necklace, and so it's just going to weigh down their item count at this point.
Ooh, butterfly.
Ooh, they're back.
Go, butterfly, go! Rooting for the butterfly. You can do it. Oh,
Rooting for the butterflies. They don't live long anyways. They might as well have a life of purpose. Opal statue. So we'll have to find out where that's needed at. Oh wait, no, opal statue. That's just revival. I knew that. Not that you didn't ever give me one. That would have been handy.
Hey, there's only 3 in the whole world. I can't give you one. There's a reserve for the hero.
Yeah, or at least a sword. You know. I had one at one point. Oh, Psycho Shield. I don't know if Axeman picked that up. I don't.
He didn't
remember?
check the spot, I don't think.
Yeah. So that is a really nice find for PMAkfal.
I don't know if you caught it, but Axe just found the warrior ring from the vampire.
Ooh, that is also nice. I did not see what Akahana needed.
I didn't catch it either.
I think it might have been one of the statues, but we'll see. And Axeman, I think, is going to go ahead and go down and check. Especially with these items, it's not a bad check to come down here to Amazons. Go ahead and get that back item, and then see if you might happen to have the item that you need. Not bad shopping, and also it doesn't seem like the women of Amazons mind selling to a man. Exotic statue.
So that is the ivory statue.
Yes. And flame bracelet is in the basement. So our first of the flame set.
Never find that sword, that'll be very nice.
Indeed. Well, I think I don't believe that we found the fire orb yet. So
No, they did. It was in Oasis Cave where they found the orb of wind. The
I
leather boot spot, right?
Oh, right. You're right. I have the memory of a goldfish. It's great. Yes. So
This is why you're the pupil and I am the teacher.
Yes.
Is that joke old yet? I don't know. Anyway.
We'll find out, I'm sure.
Probably stale as can be. Anyway.
Yep. So Axeman finds some warp boots in the Onyx statue spot and is now going to switch over to the hazmat suit and head over to swamp area.
Know what he's able to do soon.
Yep. But I don't think that he has the right spells for this. I think he's just getting the check.
Right, but he can still trigger your fight. What I was getting at.
That's true. Yeah. That is part of logic.
That's what he's doing, looks like.
But you need telepathy in this flag set in order to be able to talk to the people of Vogue.
That is correct.
Yeah. So it would be kind of ironic if that was vanilla. I guess we'll find out. I believe he has no intention to try and fight me, which is the smart thing to do, even though it's somewhat cowardly. Picks up a love pendant.
I wonder if that's what Akahana wanted. I guess not. Oh, was it what the queen wanted?
I thought the queen wanted an exotic statue.
Oh, you're right.
So I don't know why he's checking this. Nothing happens. No love for Axeman.
Yeah.
Well, PMAkfal is has gotten the level and is going to try again.
Talk to Akahana again, I guess.
Yeah.
Didn't want to waste a pair of boots on it, which I can't blame him at this point.
Yeah, no, not when you're that close. And money's still a little bit tight. PMAkfal has made his way to the Cave of Styxy.
That for magic ring.
Oh, that's not great. But you see the difference in having the Psycho Shield versus nothing there. Definitely a lot better to get through that gauntlet.
Pick one herb versus what, 3 or 4? I think Axes.
I think 3, pretty much is what he used. Okay, so Akahana wants Love Pendant, Carissa Plant, or Fog Lamp. So
it was Love Pendant. He just turned it in.
Oh, he did. Oh, and that was the magic ring. Okay.
Yeah.
I've caught up. Yay.
Now he's going Evil Spirit. Thought he would do this soon.
Indeed, this makes sense. And as he goes through one of my favorite grind spots as a kid, and PMAkfal is clearing out and has picked up that Sword of Wind. And is also seemingly enjoying that fairly easy enemy set that rolled in the lower part of Styxy.
PMAkfal almost forgot the axe spot.
Which would be very funny, considering his opponent.
Which makes me ask you,
we
because I don't remember.
Mimic number 2.
What was in the Kill spot?
I don't know.
I can't remember. He didn't miss it, did he?
I don't think he missed it. Warp boots.
Okay.
Okay. I think I saw it and it was just like forgettable.
Yeah, probably.
Instantly forgettable. Which I'm very good at.
I'm pretty good at it too, evidently. So.
Okay.
This is why you're my pupil.
Because I keep on forgetting and need to learn again. And then you don't remember that you already taught me that. Works out.
Now I understand why you died tomato so easily. I mean, that hasn't happened yet.
What? I'm sorry. All right, PMAkfal is gonna. Okay, Axeman gets the second Opal statue, and the Psycho armor.
That's right, folks.
Very nice. And PMAkfal is going to explore, I believe this is the Carissa Plant Cave or the Fog Lamp Cave?
This is Fog Lamp.
Fog Lamp Cave. Picks up a medical herb. So far, not very interesting. But yeah, with that Sword of Water, can access both of those caves, and then Sword of Wind clears out all the walls in here. Got a decent amount of items available to you. So it's interesting, we're getting divergence. And if something happens to be in one of these caves that PMAkfal's in,
ooh,
it's gonna work out. Ooh,
Axeman just got the Bow of Sun.
Aha! Bow of Sun, one of our required items in order to beat the game, along with the bosses and swords. You need that to access the final area of the basement of the pyramid. Kfal picks up some eyeglasses. And just need an alarm flute to make that loop complete. And Axeman just barely misses his ride. Ugh. This is why some people dodge this cave until they have...
Mimic.
And then we have another Mimic, number 3.
I'll be Gozen today, I guess.
We had Dragon Dark doing that as well. All right, Axeman fighting with Vampire number 2. Just luckily also weak to our swords. I think that's probably a good sign. We're at 3. Yeah, just you don't know what the enemy weaknesses are in this. So yeah, key to prison.
So found the eyeglasses and key to prison in there. Those could come into play later on. They could not. We'll have to wait and see.
It's true. And that's going to be a 4 for the mimic count. So, yeah, not a great amount of success here as far as finding progression in items. And we never know. It might just be a coincidence that the second vampire was weak to a sword that we have versus a sword we don't. But it could also mean that we're on a path to progression. Axeman's going to step out in order to get rid of this poison. And Kfal is going to go ahead and... has Kfal not actually finished that vampire cave? He noped out once he got that orb of the sword of water earlier. So they are going ahead and figuring out that they can actually go through here and get the Brimir as well. And Axeman
what Sabera is weak to.
Yeah, hopefully one of the two we have. I don't know if he's tanking or not.
Looks like he is.
Yeah. With Warrior Ring and 20, Sabera 1 is okay.
Not too bad, yeah.
And Sword of Water is really fast. It shoots a lot. So is Sword of Wind. So might just be grinning and bearing it. Although it's probably a sign to them that this was, obviously not the intended logical route. Not that that's going to stop most racers.
Yeah, I mean, considering we have a waypoint right outside the castle now, I don't know if this is really worth it anymore, but you won't have to come back at all, which is nice.
Yeah, it's required to beat the seed. It's 2 items. So, yeah, I can see taking this shot. I can also see if you fail not doing this again, but it's going to go ahead and use that medical herb. Probably doesn't want to waste an opal statue on this, I'm hoping. But the nice thing is that it's a fairly large, yeah. And so there it is. I missed what the chest was.
I think it was a consumable.
Okay.
Not for sure. See what Clark Kent has.
Who's not Superman, by the way. Fruit of Lime.
Fruit of Lime.
Okay, so it was a medical herb that Sabera had. Kfal picks up the Warrior Ring from Vampire 1. Very happy to see that, I'm sure. And Axeman goes shopping. We still are pretty light in the spell department in this seed, so a lot of dependencies on shopping for warp boots and consumables to heal, and because we have no barrier, we have no refresh, restore, any of that.
I love it. Really makes these runners work hard.
Absolutely, makes it exciting for us.
They can't just breeze through with their teleport spell. Come on.
And we are down to 2 swords that could be needed for Rage. So one thing of note is that our racers so far are not taking advantage of the glitch to get behind Rage, which is something they could do with that sword and orb of water to cross over and check Messiah's answering service.
Was there a
obviously
flyer
not in
there?
logic.
I didn't see if there was or not. Was there a flyer outside Rage?
Oh, that's true. There has to be a flyer. So that might be why they don't do that.
Usually Axe will do that if possible. I didn't catch if there was a flyer or not.
That would explain it. And K-Fall, yeah, noping out. Nobody wants to fight me.
Axeman's checking the Crystalis cave, surprising me a little bit too.
Yeah.
Oh, telepathy.
Finds telepathy. I'm a little surprised because didn't Axeman find that? Well, I guess you don't really want to go to Waterfall Cave until you have that sort of fire.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And without Sword of Fire, you can't get through there, which means that that Flute of Lime doesn't really do a whole lot for you.
Axeman decides that he just wants to hug every skeleton in here.
The nice thing is, when you have that Psycho Armor, you can actually out-heal the poison by standing still. Finds a Tornado Bracelet, that is going to instantly upgrade his offensive capabilities. He now has a full-on wind set. And he is a power ring away from having a max potential arsenal of at least one element.
And do you want to talk about Sword Charge Glitch a little bit, which is available in this seed now?
I will absolutely let you do that.
So, there's a glitch that the runners have available in this flag set that they didn't in the previous flag sets that we did in the Swiss rounds that lets them basically take the level from another sword and give it to one that doesn't have it. So, for instance, he just got the Tornado Bracelet. He can use this glitch to give himself the level 3 Water Sword, which is the Blizzard Bracelet, to help him through any bosses or whatever he might need that for throughout the game. And it can also give you like a level 2 Water Sword if you need it to make a bridge or whatever. But the only catch to that is if they open their menu at any time while doing that, it undoes the glitch. So it makes it a little tricky to get through certain areas with it if you need to heal or heal a poison or paralysis or whatever.
Right.
But it does have some options if they want to do that.
That is
it's not required in this logic, but it definitely can give them an advantage if they choose to do it. No, it's not required.
Okay. I did not realize that part. Thank you again, teacher. Alright, Axeman just finds a consumable. And it seems like we're just probably on the hunt for the Sword of Fire at this point. Or maybe the Flight spell. Something that's going to let them to gain access to some more area of the game. I just don't imagine at this point that it's... I think Thunder you need as a set. And so I think that we're still going to have a little bit of a wait before we get to Goa. But Fire is going to open up a world to these guys.
I think Hydra has something more. They have, 1-2 more chests they can check right now there?
Yeah.
Also,
that Telepathy spell does open up more checks in Oak.
You're right.
In the swamp area.
2 more checks there. You're right.
Yep. Yeah. I would definitely think about going and checking out that Oak area sooner rather than later. Especially for Axeman, who went ahead and just grabbed that spot to teleport to. Or in his case, Warp Boots too. We are 33 minutes into this seed, and our tracker doesn't have a whole lot going for it. We do have a Sabera kill on Axeman's side that we can mark, but beyond that...
Right.
Yeah. Not a whole
Pretty
lot
much
else.
The whole difference in these 2 runners right now is that Axeman has done Evil Spirit and K-Fal has not.
Yeah.
The K-Fal is doing Oak like we just talked about.
Yeah. And we'll have to see what this is. Might be a minor advantage to K-Fal, or at least to balance it out.
Oh, Axeman's going Hydra. This is great.
Indeed. This will be fun. Yeah, no, Flight would get them access to the back end of Goa Fortress. It would also get them access to the right side of Cave of Styxy, rather.
Also give them
and-
Pyramid Sahara access.
Absolutely. And so, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that ends up being our next big progression thing. But I think it's got to be either that or Sword of Fire. And then probably one leads to the other.
Flight.
Oh, and there is Flight. So that can potentially make... that's going to make a huge difference routing for KFAL. Probably going to put Evil Spirit Island off for quite a while, which we know is the right move.
Was that a Mimic the Amex fan just found outside there?
I missed it, if it
Missed
was.
it too. Spokes has our back, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah. Our lovely audience is keeping track for us as well. I think it's one we already saw if it was, because Axeman just picked up Psycho Shield. This is not new territory for us.
Well, the one he just checked, he had to have Wind Sword to do. One outside on the ledge. So that was a new chest we hadn't seen yet.
Okay. And I missed what Deo had. I was looking on the other
I did
screen.
too, I was looking at Axe because I was talking about Axe. Dang it.
Yep. You've taught me to think like you, and it's working against us. Shield Ring. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's definitely a mimic.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. Is that a new mimic, though?
And I missed the item right there. The last item in Hydra you could get. Missed that
That
one
was
as
a
well.
mimic.
Okay. Do we know what mimic we're on now? Is it 5 or 6?
It's definitely 5 or 6.
We'll go with 5.
Sounds good to me. Mimic number 5. Gozen would be ashamed.
He would be.
KFAL going straight to Pyramid. Not terribly surprising there, gaining access to this. Gonna check to see what these items are and kill Dragon. Who at 25 is not gonna be too bad. A lot of it just depends on what items we end up finding in here. Finds a paralysis spell. And we are, I think that's gonna help us in Swan, or Chiron.
You're right, Swan.
Swan, yes. Yes. Found that Swordy was weak too, and it worked quite well.
Consumable ISIS
Just a
point.
license. And a magic ring.
Going to buy more boots, I guess.
Yep.
Oh, it was Bow of Truth we missed. Wow, that was a big one to miss. Thanks, Spokes.
Oh wow.
The Axe found in Hydra.
Okay. So we are 2/3 of the way to bow mode for Axeman. Still a lot to go. We are still missing 2 swords at 37 minutes in.
KFAL, is he... I wonder if he's going to Styxy or Hydra here. Instead of going back door. Which, Styxy 3 items on Hydra as well. So it's not a bad... For 3 checks, I should say. Not a bad
at
idea
all.
either way.
Yep.
But versus what? You can get 1 more check in Oasis, 2 checks in Oasis. 5 and plus 2 more potentially if Carmine's weak to something. I don't know.
Yeah. Especially since they're required anyways. So
Right.
it's a little surprising, just to not focus on the areas that are already cleared. Yeah. And Axeman did pick up that Deo, that shield ring from Deo, and is gonna go through here and clear Dragon. One of the fun things about this flag set for story mode is that even with the Bow of Truth being found out in the world, that we still have the possibility that required items could be in the crypt. It's not out of the question for one of those swords to be up there. It's unlikely, but not impossible.
Definitely not impossible. It'd be great if it was, 'cause that means Axe would have to come back again.
Indeed. Mm. So
I
pretty
really
soon-
hope this is useful. I really hope this is a good item up here. Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I like at this point, progression-wise, using another opal statue there, that's rough. Getting past those warlocks. Kfal is definitely falling behind a little bit. Definitely doesn't have quite the same progression, doesn't have as many bows. Is generally just a little bit. So hopefully one of these one-off checks that Axeman hasn't done will be useful. Axeman finds an antidote
Aw,
and immediately
access
recesses. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh,
Sword of Fire is right across the river, and so we are getting that much closer to the end as Axeman is going to go ahead and take that Sword of Fire and come into the back door of Goa Fortress. Now, without this Sword of Thunder and an Orb of Thunder, they're still limited in how far they can get here, but there's a lot of checks that they're about to get right away. And Carissa plant needed for Tensu.
I'm going to make this checkpoint here in case he finds the Sword of Thunder.
Indeed.
So we can go ahead and do Carmine while he's at it. Blame him.
Yep. Yep, there's at this point there's a access to the early floors of Goa Fortress, and one item in Oasis Cave is the only thing that we can't get right now. Carmine seemed like he was definitely weak to fire, and rewards with a medical herb, but is one less boss down needed for the end. Also,
I
an
really
ivory
like this
statue.
play from Kfal going and getting these 3 items on the right of Stixie.
Absolutely. Battle armor.
Especially if something good is here, because Axe is notorious for not coming back to this place. Oh
Ooh,
man, nothing he has to
that-
have. It's
Yeah,
man,
so-
everything that could help Kfal catch back up is not happening.
Nope. There is Mimic 6, we believe. Mimic 7. Mimic 8. Mimic 9. Oh, come on. Please be 5 Mimics in here. That would be glorious.
Oh, I was ready too.
Blizzard placed it. Oh my god. Like, yeah. It's probably best that we didn't get the 5 Mimic cave there with no Kozan around. It wouldn't feel right to do that without him here.
I agree.
But that room doubled the Mimic count right there. And also made the rest of Goa Fortress not very useful. Brokahana NPC has Barrier, which is not overly useful for us at this point as far as utility goes, but always a useful spell to have in general.
Definitely. So after this, probably either go Waterfall, Saber West, or Saber North. I would do Saber North myself, since there's a boss there. We can fly up the back with the key to prison.
It's true. Well, we don't have teleport.
But they don't need teleport if they have the key and flight. They can go backwards.
Oh, they can go backwards, yes.
Kfal finding all these wonderful mimics now.
All right. And Axeman is going to finally turn in and finds a magic ring and says, like, you know what? I wasn't really a girl all along. And it's like, you give me a ring. It's like, fooled you.
I don't mind the Saber West play though, since they have 3 bracelets. Good chance Tornell will want one of the bracelets that they have.
Yeah. And Kfal reset, and after all of those mimics, because didn't do Carmine yet, and so goes ahead and is going to go back in, pick up that sword again, and see if it can take Carmine down. It does mean that they'll have to re-pick up that Blizzard bracelet.
It's true. It makes a checkpoint on this side of the pink goo this time, just in case. So once he enters Carmine's room, that is a checkpoint. Won't have to do that again.
It's true. I missed what Kenzu picked up, or Axeman.
Pretty sure it was consumable again.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Only had to use something to pick it up.
All right.
And he's doing Saber North now. There you go.
There, that is the play.
It's Magic Ring.
PMAkfal,
Yep.
Both of them are at level 10. Axeman's got 4 more items as far as the major item count goes. I'm sure that'll change in the near future, and is definitely ahead in progression with that extra bow and the boss kills.
Yeah, Evil Spirit's still the big separator at this point. Well, of course, Carmine once he does the... I mean, Kelbesk, once he does this.
Yeah, and you just gotta think... I'm trying to think of, like, a play, like, in PMAkfal doing, like, Saber West or something like that. Some play that Axeman doesn't do to get him back in this match. To maybe pick up, like, that, you know... Both Sword and Orb of Thunder, obviously not in that order, in order to gain access to the rest of Goa Fortress and maybe just get an edge on him, is what PMAkfal needs at this point to get back in this matchup. But Axeman is one of the very best at this game and is showing us why.
Although every check he makes has been a consumable recently. But other than Dio's Pendant.
Yeah. Oh, so the bad news is Rage and did have the sword, but only had an antidote. But PMAkfal is checking the answering service, and this is something that Axeman has not done.
That's true. So this happens to be like Sword of Thunder. This could give him somewhat of an advantage if he can find the ball. Rage is definitely one of those things that you can forget pretty easily. He's very out of the way.
I had already forgotten about Rage at that point, so...
So us as viewers, if we're lucky, Axeman will forget that if it's needed. Oh, never mind, there's Sword of Thunder.
Or there's
We're in my phone, like always.
Yes.
Unless this happens to give you the Ball of Thunder, which will still keep him out of Goa if he doesn't find that.
Yep, but he's going to go ahead and probably trigger nap time for me.
Very likely.
Also known to some as the Massacre. Doing a hard save.
PMAkfal got the Carissa plant from Asina.
And
which is what Kensu wanted, right?
yes,
Ooh,
I believe so.
Kensu could have the orb they need. That'd be hilarious.
Yep.
Never mind. He has
sword
the orb.
glitch.
Never mind.
Sword charge glitch.
Oh,
thank
okay,
you,
never mind.
Dragon
Sword
Dart, for
charge
reminding
glitch.
us.
Very cool.
For all we know, the remaining orb and bracelets that we need are actually in here because of that.
Well, logically, they have to be outside of
logic.
it. Yeah.
One of them has to be.
One of them has to be outside of it, but it doesn't really matter. Like you said, if we can just glitch through the whole thing, you won't have to have it.
I'll get used to this logic sometime. Probably by the time we change it. And Axeman dodges Kelbesk at first, and is now going to fight Kelbesk too, trying to find what hurts him. And does have...
Well, he can
all
glitch
sorts
right
at this
here in
point.
Zippo's room, Dragon Dart. So that's not too far out of his way.
Oh, we have dueling Kelbesk fights. As PMAkfal is taking on Kelbesk 1 with that Grizzly Bracelet. And, yeah. Just a magic ring.
PMAkfal actually forgot to check paralysis spot, but it
I
doesn't matter.
was
because
just
it's Dio's
thinking that as
Pendant.
well. We'll see if that comes back to bite them or not. And Axeman continues to climb using Sword Touch Glitch. Only finds a Fruit of Repun so far. But all of these bosses are necessary for story mode. There's the Alarm Flute. So, 2 more checks open to us now. They do have the eyeglasses. And obviously the Alarm Flute check at the very beginning is pretty open. And I believe that was a refresh spell.
It was.
So that major item count is climbing, but there's still some fairly useful things out in the world that they're picking up.
Axeman is still trying to find that last bow. Of course, finish off the last bosses here.
Yep. So just at this point, with only one major item left to find, just go ahead and keep going through this required Goa Fortress, and hopefully you find it along the way. And don't even think about doing some of those other, out-of-the-way checks until it's absolutely necessary. And PMAkfal has the Sword of Thunder now, and he's gonna probably follow in very similar footsteps. And Axeman has brought down Sabera too. Picks up a fog lamp. And is going backwards. I don't know if there were items left in this area.
He's going to Sword Charge Glitch to Thunder so he can break the wall in Mado's area.
Ah. Now, would it be better to go ahead and do that from the backside, or can you even do that?
You have to go all the way to Oasis Cave Room to do that. There's nowhere else to do it.
Okay.
So this is probably the quickest way, at this point. Now, if he goes up in the very first spot in Mado's area, he finds the Orb of Thunder, he'll kind of kick himself a little bit, but...
Yeah, but that's a risk you take every time.
Yeah.
And, an Orb of Thunder would be nice, but you also now have access to the fully charged Lag Storm of Doom, which if Mado 2 is weak to, it's just the giddiest thing in the world. Or at least I hear, I don't know, I've never killed Mado.
You will one day.
Someday it'll happen. And then I'll finally see what's beyond this game that I seem to somehow already know because I see it a lot from the beyond. Alright, Axeman taking advantage, finding a Fruit of Power. PMAkfal finds that other opal statue.
Another consumable.
That's another consumable. Yep. And
keep it hold of that glitch just for Mado, like you said.
Yep. And I think Axeman almost triggered a mimic that he had already found once.
Another consumable, wow.
Yep, so we are striking out for this last bit, which probably isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, at this point, he's got 39 for major items, and I'm thinking, like, if it's not the bow, then there's probably not much you want at this point. And the power ring's still outstanding?
PMAkfal got it from the Dolphin.
Oh,
Axeman does not have it yet.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that is a weakness to thunder.
Great luck right there. Great foresight too. Really, not luck. Great foresight.
Indeed. And down goes Mado 2.
That's what that feels like, Stom.
And gets teleport for it. Completing our full set. Unfortunately, doesn't have the magic for it. But does have some Fruit of Power from earlier. And is going to go ahead and just take advantage of those last warp roots. And doesn't even take time to meme. Not in a race like this.
Wake up, man.
I'm fine. I'm feeling good. And both Mados are weak to Thunder. And Axeman is immediately going to warp out. And it's probably going to set up the same glitch. Because, yeah, if you can lag storm both Mados, you lag storm both Mados. So I hear. Yep. And with 40, it's still more than one shot, but not more than two. And just
And
a medical herb. So we're not done. Axeman has killed all of the bosses, and we are on a bow hunt. And that can be anywhere except the crypt. So unfortunately, we will not see the crypt today.
It could be in Waterfall Cave, or Saber West, or several different one-off checks, like alarm flute checks.
Indeed.
What else? Kensu and Goa.
Yep.
Slime Ken.
But going with the
spot.
concentration of items, and it's going to go straight to that Waterfall Cave. We still haven't found Insect Flute to kill the big bug.
You think Rakahana will have it? I heard that the other day, and I actually kind of liked it.
That it's a possibility. Sure, it's just fun to say Rakahana. Yep. Yes, it is. Are you ready to Rakahana? Yep. Of course, the thing that would have been the best for us if it had been on Rage, that is still a check that Axeman hasn't made yet, but has also obviously not checked Dolphin. So there's a very good chance that if he does find that bow in one of these spots in Waterfall Cave, that he'll go straight to tower.
Nope. Rakahana let us down.
Wait, what? So in my mind, I see Rakahana just holding that fruit right in front of his face, but turned to stone right before he could eat it.
There's your Insect Flute you were asking for, and the Orb of Thunder.
There's that Orb of Thunder. So there's the logic for everything that we just did.
And PMAkfal is going through this right now, so he will have that before he does Goa.
That's gonna save him some time. I'm probably not enough to really salvage this at this point, unfortunately.
And he won't have level 3 for Mado, unless he finds it somewhere else first.
Which is unlikely unless he checks that Power Ring Cave in Oasis. Which could have our bow.
I'm hoping that Slime Kensu has it.
That would probably be the best thing for PMAkfal at this point. And Axeman is, I think, in contemplation mode.
Oh, because he didn't get the Carissa plant from Asina because he hasn't done the Rage yet. Or
That's true.
ATM machine, at least.
So he's going to take advantage of that Insect Flute. Now, granted, we know that that's not the answer, so it's not really that big a deal, but...
I mean, it could be Insect Flute, right?
It could be Insect Flute, but we know it's not Carissa plant.
Oh. Well, that's what Slime Kensu wants.
Oh, okay. So that actually really could work out. I've caught up now.
As long as he doesn't remember, PMAkfal has a chance.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't get the bow. Oh, never mind.
And that's the bow. We are in bow mode, full go mode. Axeman is on his way.
All the possibilities just out the window.
Pretty much.
And PMAkfal's not even doing Goa yet. It's just... Yeah. This is pretty much done.
Yeah.
If he was somehow going there around the same time, having a power ring would help him out a lot, but he's not.
Nope, not at this point. But we still get to see the exciting conclusion and see how far PMAkfal gets while Axeman finishes this up. No lag storm. Officially, he might go in with Sword Charge Glitch to change that. For the tower, no power ring, so it's not gonna be the easiest path possible, but with level 12 and most of those swords with full bracelets and a warrior ring,
yeah,
full spells, full armor sets, yeah, I don't think that Axeman's going to be stopped. And I think he still has at least one opal statue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has refresh, so he's well equipped for the tower.
Absolutely. And when I say Axeman is one of the best players in the world, I mean like top 5, if not like top 3. He literally made the task for this game. So there's no shame to losing to a player like this.
Definitely not. Really, I think most of his time loss came from the windmill cave. He took several deaths and
He did.
noped out once, went back, died a bunch more, and just had some trouble at the start, and it really put him behind.
Yeah, and I think he took a couple of chances that just didn't fully pay off. I mean, Axeman did 1 or 2 as well, but like, yeah. Like, I think there was some things that, had they worked in his favor, you know, would have really worked in his favor.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Some of the side paths he took, like going back up to Stixie and stuff like that.
Right. And definitely could have panned out. It just didn't this time.
Yep, just how it goes. All right, Axeman has taken down Dragon too. I was about to say is in the second phase, but it's done, and is off to the tower.
What? That's not the final boss?
No, but wait, there's more. Because you thought you were playing a fantasy game, but now we have robots. Surprise! So we got 3 floors, each with 2 sets of robots. We got these copper goldish robots that are then followed up by the evil white robots. And Axeman is definitely taking advantage of that warrior ring and the barrier spell. And is just gonna go ahead and use that fire spell, or level 3 fire, to round up all these guys. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I would do as well. It's pretty easy to use.
And evil helicopter drone tried to sneak up on him, but you saw that blink, and that means that we are done with the first floor.
A little surprised that Axe is not doing his stab strats. I guess he only does that when he uses Lag Storm. I guess you really can't do that with playing bracelet spinning them around in circles, now that I say that.
Yeah, it doesn't really...
Oh, as soon as I say that, he does it.
I think he
Somebody say stab strats.
I think he just wasn't in a great position to do that into any of them until now. So yeah, these guys came out early and have spread out, so going ahead and using those level 3 fire strats. And then PMAkfal is fighting Sabera 2. And there's a little bit of an open question about whether PMAkfal is going to be through with Goa Fortress by the time Axeman finishes. Certainly will not be through the other Mado fight. Yeah.
I mean, unless Axe texted death or something. Don't see that happening.
And I don't really see that happening either. He's been very liberally using that barrier spell. Has plenty of life left. I think has at least 1 opal statue. It's going to take a lot to slow down Axeman at this point. But Sabera 2 does go down, and PMAkfal finds that fog lamp. Probably not very happy to see that. Yes. Avenge me, even though I have not died yet.
Taking in.
Alright, so we are through all 3 floors of robots. And Axeman is going to go up here and grab the title sword. You know, the sword that the entire game is based on, that you get to fight for, with one boss, one encounter. And if you've not seen Crystalis Randomizer at all, this boss in vanilla was kind of a pushover. It's gotten a few upgrades. But when you have a warrior ring, when you have the barrier spell, yeah, even upgrades don't really matter that much.
Yeah, I think they should look into ways to make this hard again. They haven't really settled on.
I personally am hoping for a Super Metroid inspiration where the second phase is just that thing as the head of a giant robot monster. Steve kind of just balked at that idea a bit. Oh, by the way, Axeman has now finished the seed and is our official winner for this race. You got the SRL time for that?
Yes, official SRL time of 1:04 and 30 seconds.
All right, so get your GGs in chat for AxeMan301, who will move on in this tournament, while PMAkfal will fall himself into our elimination brackets. Still has the second shot to make it through. This is a double elimination tournament, and so the grand finals will be whoever fought their way back through our second chance losers elimination brackets, and we'll see who wins in the grand finals of it all. Probably about a month or two away from that at this point. It's not a huge tournament, so I don't know what the timing is right now, but
Okay. I'm live.
Hello.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hello.
Congrats
Yes,
on the
welcome
win, man.
indeed.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was an intense seed.
Indeed. Yeah. So early on, looked like it might have been one of those fun seeds where you didn't have a sword, but luckily water came up pretty early. But it was definitely a non-traditional route with what it gave you early on.
Yes, that. Yeah, I've seen. There's a lot of variety with this flag set, and this was a unique one. And then it didn't go exactly. So, the first two items I expected would be ocean right away, and it wasn't. It took a little while.
Yeah, it's interesting because you both found the windmill key, and then Kfal decided to go ahead and do the dolphin and check the love pendant spot for
Okay.
the windmill cave,
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
which didn't really help him a whole lot, but that's what he did.
That's right. Yeah, I right after I did the wild warp, I was kind of like, oh shoot, I probably should have done that, and then it turned out. And then I missed Has Kfal checked the top of Hydra? Did he go there before?
Yeah,
did he
it
go
was the
there after
last
flight?
plan.
Yeah.
Okay, I lucked out on that.
I kept
that was
hoping
really
that would be
straight.
something that you needed. There's several things he did that you didn't, and every one of them
Okay.
ended up not mattering. And I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
And in between that and the fact that unfortunately Kfal had some really bad issues with that windmill cave with the butterflies and all that stuff, got stuck there for a little while. Yeah, that was not fun. But it was far less fun for them. But yeah, Kfal at that point, there were a lot of different checks that they did that you did not, and it just ended up.
Interesting.
Yeah, that.
Because I felt like I did a lot of checks that I didn't. Like I did Fog Lamp Cave, and I don't know if that had anything. I remember like telepathy was in Carissa, and that was key.
Yeah.
But then, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, Kfal checked the rest of that. I went back and checked Rage and had already gone through a lot of that to get Carissa Plant, and we were kind of hoping like, oh yeah, if that last bow happens to be on Slimy Tensu.
So wait, what is he looking for now?
He's looking for the last bow.
Yeah, so Kfal
hasn't done
just
the other
not
Mado
out.
yet
I
either,
see.
did he?
Yeah, has not done the other Mado fight, the one I never
Mado
win.
won. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
So
So it's the bug. He's got to beat the bug, and he's got to beat Mado 1.
Yeah.
Yes, which I think that Mado 1 had the insect flu.
Insect
where was-
flute.
Wait,
where
where was
was that?
Insect Flute?
That was in Waterfall Cave, right?
Oh,
Think.
you're right. That's right. No, yeah, it was across from Rakahana.
Yeah.
Who did not quite get that fruit of repun in his mouth.
Yeah.
No, but Axe, you never did the answering machine and the whole dolphin, the scene sequence, right?
I realized that right when I was doing that last check, and then I was kind of like, okay, if with this insect probably is going to pay off, and I'm going to hit the wild warp and then do that. But it turned out that was the last bow, so I just went and finished.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were
So
hoping you'd forget that.
I also like when I came here and did Saber South, I was kind of like, so I did a check in Amazons, and I was kind of like, okay, I'll do Saber South. But then I realized, wait a minute, I can go to Saber North. I have the prison key.
There were several times where I'm like, he could do this, and then you started to do something else, and then you would go with what I just said, and it's like cracking me up the whole race.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that dolphin that you missed was the home of the power ring. So a little bit unfortunate to miss, and that was one that KFL actually ended up getting a little bit earlier.
Interesting. Okay.
So
And then the other half of that was that a scene that had the Crystalis plant, which is what Slime Kensu wanted. So I was really hoping that the last bow would be on Slime Kensu.
I mean, I had all the swords and I had Warrior Ring, so I was in like boss mode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right away.
Absolutely, it made perfect sense the way you were routing once you had all that.
Now, has KFL gotten any use out of sword charge glitching?
Not so far.
Okay.
He used Warrior Ring on Maydu too. So.
I'm trying to figure out if any of these. I think that we found all of these mimics before. We kind of lost track of that as you got into go mode. Speaking of mimics, though, how do you like that area in the back of Goa Fortress?
That was very nice.
Yeah.
I think that had to make Gozengata very happy.
Unfortunately, Gozen's not here for this race.
Oh, no!
I know. And so, like, we were sitting there thinking, like, oh, please be a fifth one. Please be a fifth one. And then it ended up being the Blizzard bracelet. And we're like, it makes sense because he's not here. But no, that is, this is so, that's right. Or West, rather. This is absolutely 2 new mimics. So that is, we think 10. We think we're at 10.
Then Tornell wanted the Storm bracelet, so he couldn't even turn that in either.
Oh, that is rough.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never found that. That's right.
Yep. And because you found the Orb of Thunder pretty late.
Yeah. Now, did he get the other chest? Oh. Did he get the other chest on Saber North?
I don't think he went to Saber North yet.
No, he did. He did kill Vesk. He
did?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Because he had Sword of Thunder.
He must.
Had to go
He
there.
got Sword of Thunder, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think that he went back. Did anyone check the paralysis spot?
Yeah, AxeMan did. It was Dio's pendant, but KFL never did, so he's lucky that wasn't important.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I reset. I reset it.
I saw that. Oh, he's like, really?
And
really?
there's that bone.
Oh, is he gonna remember? He hasn't done that boss
All
though.
right.
Oh, he's not gonna remember. Did he do Made
Oh no.
Oh no!
Or did he do it? We just didn't catch it. It's possible.
I don't think he's done Made 01.
Well, we'll
all.
find out, huh?
We'll find out
Yeah.
soon. Yeah.
I can understand not wanting to fight that boss. I really can. I feel it personally. Because I also think at this point, like, he's going to get there, he's going to realize what he missed, and there's no reason for him not to spend some extra time in Chiron. I just see it coming at this point. It's like, everybody loves to play with my corpse. And, yeah, headed straight there. Oh, goodness. So, hopefully, it doesn't take them too much time to figure out what just went wrong.
Hopefully, it'll be pretty clear once he gets to Dragon and he's not there.
Yeah.
Or, unless we're the ones who are mistaken.
Yeah, it's possible we just missed it when Axe got here and then Show didn't click it. I'm hoping that's possible.
I imagine that chat would have informed us if we were wrong. They've been very good about that at this rate, which we're grateful for. I'm not trying to bash
Every
on
time you would be doing
chat.
something, we'd miss, KFL pick something up or whatever, and we're like, what did he get? Or we'd forget, what was in Kelvin's spot? What was in this spot?
One of the downsides of having the teacher and the student together is that we've both learned to think very similarly, and we're very often focused on the same racer at the same time. I feel fairly confident in that as well. That show is backing
Moment of
us
truth.
up. Moment of
Get
the
it?
bow of
Get it?
truth is going to
Moment of
reveal
truth. Get it?
nobody home.
It's gotta be like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him because we've all done this at some point.
Yeah.
All of us.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
That's still not right. There we go.
I actually had a seed the other day I was doing practice seed, and I psyched myself out where I went through the statues and like, oh, I forgot Sabera 1. And I went all the way back up there and I was like, no, I did do her. And I went back and I didn't need to leave. It's like, great.
Oh.
Oh.
I called it.
Help me cast the rest to the Axeman.
Oh.
Now, did you catch my little call out with telepathy?
I didn't. Actually,
I did-
I'm
we
disappointed
did
I
not.
missed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were so focused on you going back in here with the sword glitch to kill Mato with Lagstorm because if you have that option, why wouldn't you?
I don't know if K-Pal realizes that's on. Or just doesn't care.
That is a very valid point at this point.
We'll ask him when he gets here.
And especially considering it's not required by logic, and that is the way to do this. And unfortunately,
Nope, you have to pick it up, unfortunately.
you have to pick
You
it
have to
up.
blow one of your magic rings.
Oof.
For a medical herb. Well, at least it's healing. He just threw it away. Fuck that.
I don't want
He could
that.
have used it to heal. He's like, nah.
Yeah, he's got Psycho armor. He's fine. Yeah. Now, and this will be a fully loaded, without, with the exception of the Storm Bracelet, which we have to assume is at, like, the crypts or just one of those other
Slime
spots.
Kensu or a few other spots.
Yeah. You just have to assume that, Other than that, K-File is loaded completely and ready to clear out this boss and tower. It probably won't do the glitch at all just because this has access to so much other stuff. But with that 46 count of items, this is not going to be the quickest fight in the world.
Fire, flame bracelet attack does pretty good.
Yeah, with Power Ring especially. Is K-File taking the long way? Is K-File checking the crypt, the items?
No, this is the path through.
Okay,
that's the right way.
I just got lost for a second there.
Yeah, I looked away for a second, so I couldn't answer your question. I didn't know where he was at first.
All right. And has managed to get Dragon to come down and play nice pretty quickly. And getting in a nice shot of that Fire 3. I think that's tanking them though, isn't it? Or is that just the shots on his barrier at that point?
It could have been his barrier. Should have been.
Yeah, I think so.
It shouldn't be tanking off him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oof. Gets stuck in the corner. Barrier spell saves him. Yep. Oh, that's all it took. And here we go. Off to the tower.
So K-Phil has the power ring. See if he chooses to go that route, or if he just wants to warrior ring his way through.
It seems like so far, at least with the copper robots, he is perfectly content to warrior ring.
Oh, got my answer.
Oh. Well, won't do a whole lot of damage to those robots down there. We laugh. We've all
Making
been
some
there.
fireworks,
We have
you know?
absolutely all been there. Oof.
Helicopter's not helping
those,
things.
Those drones are evil. Yes, everyone, the best players in the world, and in me. Granted, I'm great at doing it like Mato, because I don't know how to beat him. Oof. Getting hit by those shots. Might as well be safe here. As it clears the first floor. No reason to take too much undue risk at this point. I still want to have a respectable time. But won't get a respectable time if you die. Oh, he's still got 2 opals. Okay.
Like 6 magic rings. 5.
Making his way through this tower. I mean, pretty straightforward at this point. Just fully
think I
taking
had, what,
advantage
like-
of that fire sword.
I was at like 43, I think. So not
Yeah, 43.
far. Yeah.
So just to go ahead, we are going to be cutting this very close with the end of this race because this is absolutely a double header. We actually have a second match coming up in just a few minutes where we will have Night Dew versus Cross Product. We're going to have new commentary team for that. We're going to have the team of Matrick and Goes and Gata coming in here taking over. This should be an absolutely amazing matchup. Please stick around for that. Axeman, by virtue of your win today, you will be taking on the winner of my co-commentator, Cornell, and the tracker, Fukumachi. Do you guys have your match scheduled at this point?
Yes, our race is on Friday at 9? Yeah, Friday at 9.
Okay, I'm seeing that now. So you get to see your fate at that point.
So
and
do I
KFAL,
try my hardest, or do I throw and fight Axeman? That's the question. I mean, do I not throw and fight Axeman? I can beat Show. I said that backwards, totally. I meant to say, do I throw and avoid Axeman? Is what I was trying to say.
You mean throw Show to me?
Yes, throw Show to you.
And I'm not absolutely sure of KFAL's match right now. I believe that's
Let's see. He will loser
of
6.
6.
So he's the
Oh, so taking
We'll
on
play-
the winner of Goes and Gata versus it looks like whoever loses between your match.
yes.
So that's just the way that the draw went with the way this goes. I don't know if we're going to have time to get KFAL in here or if KFAL is even going to want to jump in here or not. But KFAL has now officially finished. What's the SRL time on that?
I click my window 1:23:10.
Okay, so unfortunately a little bit behind.
This was a tough speed. This was, yeah.
Okay, so
So you took a lot of risks there, and yeah, they didn't pay off, unfortunately.
yeah. Well, I took so many early deaths, and then I was like, if I'm going to stand any chance, I've got to play aggressive and take some risks. And then I just, let's forget about forgetting to do Mado 1. I got in there, and I'm all set up, and I'm like, wait a second. Oh, my God.
We were like, did he do it? And we didn't see it? When we were talking to Axe, we were like, what?
Yeah.
We weren't sure what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were fairly sure you didn't, and we were bracing for it for a while. The second that you had warped to Sahara,
Yeah.
and like,
Mhm.
yeah. So that happens.
That happened.
I guess silver lining that didn't cost you the match.
No, and I would have felt a lot worse about it had I not seen that Axe had finished. So I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah,
It's why I went back and got a safety level and just
He's just trying to give us stuff to talk about. I appreciate that.
I decided to kill Stom like 8 times.
Yeah,
So,
Appreciate that too. I mean, wait.
thanks.
I had to
Feeling
make
the
sure-
love.
I was frustrated about forgetting Mado. I want to make sure Stom was actually dead.
He always gets the frustrations taken out on him. I noticed that lately.
It's a shame, but that's
Yeah.
okay. But
The stomps of sore losers. Not that you're a sore loser at all. Just
Axe-
kidding.
Axe is you're just too darn good. That's just I can't-
Oh, I was a little
Yeah.
worried, but in the bow hunt, when I got to bow hunt mode there, it could be anywhere.
Well, I felt actually pretty good early when I got flight, because I was like, I'm gonna check it just because.
Yeah, you actually had flight a little bit before Axman did too.
Yep.
Because I know how Axe plays, and I figured he wouldn't go there, so I was like, you know what, I'll try it. And it was flight, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Then I felt like I was playing okay for a bit until I just started doing stupid stuff like forgetting things.
It was just one of those unfortunate things where there just really weren't that many other checks to do.
Yeah.
All the way up to flights, because that was a really fun early progression in this game.
Yeah.
Definitely one we haven't seen too much of. Showed off some of the fun of this flag set.
Wind and water always makes it interesting, and
Yes.
a little usually on the harder side.
Yeah, it does. And early on, I think we're saying about 10 minutes in, I'm like, well, you saw how the leaf cave gave me a hard time, like trying to go through there and getting slapped around. So
Yeah.
That was pretty brutal.
That was absolutely brutal.
slapped around
I-
by the Medusas, and then the next thing had butterflies screaming in at you.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you for your final thoughts. We actually have a double header, and that other match is due to start any minute now.
Yes. Yeah. I don't have any more thoughts. I forgot what I was going to
I
say.
have one more quick question I'd like to ask KFal really quick.
Oh,
Sure.
Lord.
You didn't use sword charge glitch at all throughout that, and Axman did. I was curious if you just decided not to, or didn't see the opportunity to.
I didn't see a good opportunity to. I thought about it, trying to go, and I probably would have, if I would have gone into Goa earlier, it might have paid off, but I didn't. Or if I was going to
Which
check
is-
the powering spot.
And that is what Axeman ended up doing.
That's what I figured. I
yeah,
might have
before
remembered to
getting
do
that-
Mado.
Orb of Thunder.
Yep. And Mado with Thunder weakness was a pain in the butt. Did you ever find the Storm Bracelet?
I did
Yeah.
not.
Neither did I. So
I did all of Goa Fortress without even the ball of thunder, so
nice. Yeah, I forget where Ball of Thunder was.
That was in. I know this.
I do too. I can't think.
It wasn't Stixie, was it? Or was it in
what-
Evil Spirit?
It might have been right side of Stixie, yeah, because you went back there.
I did.
No,
Oh,
that was a consumable and 2 items. I think maybe Waterfall Cave, but that
good
was.
thing.
It was
I
Waterfall
forgot
Cave.
about that.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was toward water spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, that was a tough seed. I mean, I would have had a lot lower time than normal had I not forgotten Mado and died like 18,000 times. But
Well, you had some really bad luck too. You made a lot of checks that
Yeah.
Axe didn't make, and none of them helped you. Like No.
I know.
Yeah.
It was just, I like
And-
to gamble, and it never pays off. So
Absolutely. And we were sitting there thinking, like, oh my God, if that's the bow, if that's the sort of thunder on
mhm.
one of these out of the way spots, it's going to give you the edge you need to try and get back into this because, like Axeman did Evil Spirit Island pretty early, and you were still getting hit on pretty hard in that Windmill Cave, and just started to get away pretty early at that point. And we were just hoping something would come along that would swing things in your favor.
And I knew
And-
that was going to be the case when I had the early rough start. I was like, I got to make these risky plays, or I have no chance. I mean, it's Axe. I can't. I got to make a gamble that he would never make in order to actually stand a chance.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for an amazing race and showing us this this fun flag set and everything. And you are not out of the tournament yet, so you get to fight on. You got a little bit of wait to find who your next opponent is. Got to get through this next round of things, and then there has to be another round of losers matches to find out who you face.
Sounds good.
And so Axeman will find out your opponent on Friday. And
I'll be waiting.
Axe GG, great race. Always fun to race against you. It's always a blast. I know you stomp me every time, but it's always fun to race against you. Always
It's been
enjoy
fun,
it.
yeah.
all right, and we're going to throw this out quickly because we need to take things down for a second to transition for the next race.
Awesome. I'm
Thanks
excited to
everybody
watch.
so much. Thank you, Show, for tracking and continue to track. Thank you, Tornell, for commentating with me. And I've been
Pleasure.
Dom. Thank
Oh
you
yes,
so much.
thank you. Thank you all, and for Speed Gaming. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Speed Gaming.
Good night, guys.
Good night.